One of the main things to point out about the Skoog is the thing that it isn't switches. You have these 5 different surfaces that you can interact with. So you can assign a different note to each of the surfaces when it's being a particular instrument. So at the moment it's being a flute, and I've got 5 different notes on there. Okay. Now I can play. I can play yellow by pressing yellow. There we go. Or I don't have to press the button. The buttons are more of a physical guide. They're a raised projection on a flat surface that says "press me." I'm colourful. Press me. Come on, press me. And you kind of go, I want to squeeze. Okay. Which often helps with people who are pre-verbal or don't have language. And one of the things that we always find is if you put a Skoog down on a table in a room of adults, everyone sits and goes, "How does it work?" You put it down around children, and they just start, they just attack it. They start squeezing it in. They start finding out how to use it there and then. Okay. So I can play the note by pressing it there, or I can press anywhere on the white, like this. Okay. Or I can pull it towards me from the top, like that. Which means that there's lots of different ways of playing this. Now I can play it with 2 hands, like this, or I can play it with 1 hand from one point. So for people with more limited movement or limited abilities, it starts to open up different possibilities. So there's no right or wrong way of playing it. I can hold a corner, I can get most of it from there. Polyphony. So if I push 2 sides at once, I can actually get 3 going. But I can't push against myself, because that actually cancels the movement out. Because it is the real movement, the movement that I make on this is actually fed into the model and then used to generate the sound wave. So I'm present in what I'm doing. So there's lots of different ways to play it. You can also, so an example is some people used to be using chin switches. So you can play with your chin, you can play with your elbow, you can show you how to play with your armpit, which is a good exercise.
What about tongues? Because a lot of disabled children like to explore.
They do. There is a caveat to tongues, which sounds like a terrible film, and that is that this is the sort of material that some children will bite. Some people who like to bite or are quite oral will bite. It's that kind of soft kind of material. And it's not indestructible. And you have to try and keep it out of it. I mean, some kids, fine, they don't, won't bite, they may just mouth things. And if you know the user well enough, then that's fine. But otherwise, I would strongly suggest you keep it out of their mouths. It's non-toxic, it will pass straight through, it will not do anyone any harm, but it will, and it won't actually stop your Skoog working, because the electronics are bedded inside. It's quite a lot of fun to get through. But once you break through, the coating and everything, people will start to pick at it, and they'll start to come apart. We can refurbish them. We haven't had to do that yet. The exact cost is sort of between 150 and £200, because the foam is very expensive. I think it's because we do it in short runs. Can be fixed. Buttons can be replaced and stuff, because these are separate. But if you do get a big chunk taken out of it, it'll just have a big chunk taken out of it, and it'll lead to it degrading and stuff like that. But that's.
You can't play it with your teeth or your tongue.
Yeah, well, you could do.
Yes, you can get you can get into pressure.
Yeah. So I'll show you now. So that's the key point, is that it's not switches. It's a kind of analog thing it's sensitive. It's sensitive to how it's squidged. There is no. I've tried to find more scientific terms for it, but there aren't any. And so it's how you deform it. It's how you play it. And there's lots of different ways. Lots of different ways of playing it and using it in different situations. And sort of show you how to do those different things. But the main thing I want to do is just kind of whiz through the kind of key things of the software. Because the software is where the kind of clever stuff happens. This is essentially just a synth. Okay.